Hello, Houston Texans fans. Today we have some hot news that you can't miss. So get ready because there's a lot of important information coming. Before we start, we'd like to take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and stay up to date with all the news about our Houston Texans. Don't forget to leave a like, which really strengthens our community and helps bring this content to those who are most passionate about the team. Now, without further ado, let's get straight to today's news. Can the Texans steal a struggling wide receiver from a division rival? Are the Houston Texans about to strike a strategic blow against one of their main AFC South rivals? With the offseason underway, the franchise needs to address a crucial issue on its roster, its receiving core. And one interesting name could come to mind: wide receiver Christian Kirk, currently with the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans' situation is delicate. The uncertainty surrounding the future of Stefon Diggs, who arrived in 2024 via a trade with the Buffalo Bills, raises questions about whether the team will be able to keep him for next season. In addition, young standout Tank Dell, a key piece of C.J. Stroud's offense, is expected to miss the entire 2025 season due to a serious knee injury suffered late last season. The problem is that the Houston Texans don't have much salary cap space before free agency opens. In other words, the main options on the market, which are already scarce, may be out of reach. So how can the team strengthen its roster without compromising its finances? That's where Christian Kirk's name comes into play. The 28-year-old wide receiver still has 1 year left on his contract with the Jaguars, but there is speculation that he may be released due to the high cost and his recent history of injuries. In 2024, Kirk missed half the season due to a broken collarbone. In 2023, he also faced physical problems that limited him to just 12 games. If Jacksonville decides to cut him, the Texans would have the chance to sign him for an affordable amount, possibly on a one-season deal. And despite the recent setbacks, Kirk's talent cannot be ignored. His best season was in 2022, when he accumulated 84 receptions, 1,108 yards, and 8 touchdowns, being an essential piece in the offense led by Trevor Lawrence. Although it's been 3 seasons since that high-profile performance, Kirk is still at a productive age for the wide receiver position. If he can stay healthy, he could provide exactly what the Houston Texans need: a reliable threat to complement the passing game alongside Nico Collins and tight end Dalton Schultz. We'll be keeping a close eye on Christian Kirk's status in Jacksonville over the next few days. If he does end up being cut, it wouldn't be surprising to see the Houston Texans move quickly to bring the former Texas A&M player back to the state of Texas, this time wearing the red, white, and blue of the Texans. Texans could surprise with bold moves in NFL offseason. The Houston Texans find themselves in a somewhat unexpected situation heading into the NFL offseason, especially when compared to other seasons. In 2024, the team seemed well-stocked with offensive talent, but now, due to some major changes, Houston will need to significantly strengthen its roster to remain competitive. With Stefon Diggs hitting free agency and Tank Dell likely out for the entire 2025 season due to a serious knee injury, the Texans are undoubtedly looking for new options on offense. For many, this represents a golden opportunity for the team to bolster defensive options, especially when it comes to receivers. According to Ben Rolfe for Pro Football Network, there are high expectations that the Texans will make a bold move in free agency. Rolfe believed the team should target one of the top weapons on the market, Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Chris Godwin. Adding Godwin would represent a significant upgrade to the Texans roster, especially at receiver. Adding Godwin would give the Texans a high-end slot receiver to complement Nico Collins on the outside, Rolfe said. In addition, Houston could still look to add another outside player in the draft, but with a combination of Collins, Godwin, Dalton Schultz, and Joe Mixon, this offensive line group could become one of the most complete and diverse in the NFL. Godwin, who has a history of high-level performances, would undoubtedly be a great addition for Houston. However, what makes this prospect even more appealing is the fact that the Texans are in a tough financial situation. Houston currently has just $4.9 million in salary cap space, making it difficult to sign big stars in free agency. While it is possible to free up some cap space through cuts, trades, or restructuring of contracts, this process is not simple, and even with these moves, the amount of money available for new contracts will be limited. With a recent increase in the NFL salary cap, Houston still faces challenges in making major signings. Given this scenario, the reality is that if the Texans are able to sign a receiver in free agency, it is more likely to be a supplemental option, someone with more moderate impact, rather than a big name like Godwin, who has Pro Bowler status. But as we all know, in the world of the NFL, more unlikely things have happened. So, despite the financial difficulties, the possibility of Houston making a bold move is not yet ruled out, and the offseason promises surprises. The expectation of a major signing has fans anxious and curious to see how the Texans plan to build their team for the 2025 season.